Hey everybody, my name is Erica. Today I'm going to be doing the Marvel Avengers book tag 2. Alright, so I had the first one written down, but I liked the second version better because it had more characters in it, so I'm going to be doing that one today. I do not have the information right now of who created it, but I will be leaving the original creator, the original tag video down below, so you can check that out. Oh, this is so weird to be filming. I'm filming on my vlogging camera because something is wrong with my DSLR. Hopefully I can figure that out. So recently I finally watched all of the Marvel films in chronological order for the first time, most of them for the first time. And I kept putting it off. I thought Marvel was super overhyped and I never really wanted to get into it because that's all people talk about. And most of the movies were spoiled for me, obviously, because I was so late to joining the fandom. I had seen a few of the Marvel films before, like the Avengers and like Thor, Captain America. I've seen some of those movies, but I was never really that dedicated to continue on watching all of them. It was my goal before Black Widow came out to finally see all of the Marvel movies in chronological order. Well, most of the Marvel movies, you know, the ones that really matter. I dedicated the months of May and June to pretty much only watching the Marvel movies. And let me tell you, it was totally worth it. And now I'm a huge Marvel fan. Probably not like as big a fan obviously as everybody else, but I get very emotional talking about it. I miss watching them already. I've already made my family watch Ant-Man because they're so good. I have so many thoughts on all of the films and the characters and everything, and I saw Black Widow in theaters and it was so incredible. So maybe I will do a video about my Marvel watching experience because it was honestly worth it, and I'm so grateful to be in this fandom. It has kind of changed my life. It's come at a very important time in my life, and I'm just very grateful to be into it now. I'm very late to it because all the big films are out already, but it's never too late because we're getting a whole new set of movies and more stuff in the multiverse, and there are TV series now to watch. I still really want to watch WandaVision and Loki, all of that. Like, I have so much to catch up on, but I'm very grateful to finally be in this Marvel fandom. Anyway, I found this tag and really wanted to do it because it's based on the characters, so let's just get right into it. The first one is Iron Man. Your favorite first book in a series. First of all, I thought I was gonna hate Iron Man. He did really annoy me at the beginning, but obviously after you follow his journey and his character arc, like, he is definitely one of my favorites now. There are a lot of good first books in series, and usually the series gets better, but there are some series where the first book is honestly the best. One series that I'm not a huge fan of the rest of the books, but the first two were really good. The first one especially was Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I really loved that first book, and it really got me interested in that world and that dystopia and everything. I was very disappointed in the third book. The first two books I really enjoyed. Another first book that I loved was Three Dark Crowns. That one, I immediately fell in love with the world and the magic system and just the characters and everything. It was very dark, very different than anything I've read before. So those are some really great first books in series that keep you hooked. The next one is Captain America, a book that takes place in a different time. I mean, I read a lot of sci-fi books, but one book that I thought of for this prompt was Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Wolf by Wolf takes place in 1956, and we have Hitler ruling and everything then. Hitler hosts this tour called the Axis Tour. It is a big motorcycle race across the country, I think. We're following this girl who wants to enter the motorcycle race because at the end, she can attend this ball, and her goal is to kill Hitler. It's very dark, really good though, and I don't think I finished, I never got to the second book, but that book I feel like is fitting for this simply because World War II, Hitler and everything, I thought it'd be fitting for this prompt. The next one is Thor, a book character you liked better after they were cast. So this is basically saying you didn't like a character, but once they got put into a TV series or a movie that you started to like them better because of their actor. For this one, I'm gonna say Rachel from The Girl on the Train. I was not a huge fan of how she was written in the book, but I knew that Emily Blunt played her character in the film. I read the book after I watched the trailer. It was easier for me to like the character cast as Emily Blunt rather than just a random character because Emily Blunt is an incredible actor, so it was really nice reading that story, picturing her rather than just some random person. Next one is Hawkeye, an unpopular book that you like. So a book that I feel like doesn't get discussed a lot is Starflight by Marissa Landers. Starflight I really enjoyed mainly because it's really fun, it's quirky, it's a lot like Cinder. I feel like it reminds me of that because of the sci-fi aspect, but it just does not get talked about very much. And I mean, it could be popular, maybe other people really enjoyed it. It's not like overhyped or anything, But I don't know, I just really like that one. We're following this girl named Solara Brooks who just wants to get a change in her life and leave her planet. She also has a lot of felonies that she's trying to run away from. To get off another planet, she ends up indenturing herself as like a servant to somebody else, and she indentures herself to this guy named Doran, this pretty boy, rich guy that she ends up having to work for. But then Doran is framed for some conspiracy back on Earth. Solara ends up switching their role in that he becomes the servant to her in order for them to escape from all of this. It's just really fun. It's such a fun story. It does not get talked about very much, but I really enjoyed it. And I don't think I like the second one as much, but I definitely recommend the first one. Our next one is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, a book with a sibling duo. So I'm not going with a duo, I'm going with a throuple, I guess. I'm going with a series of unfortunate events where we have 3 siblings who are very talented and very crafty and very smart and witty, and they go through a lot in that series, but they're always working together, and it's just, I really love their relationship and how they grow throughout the series, and just their quirks and their skills that help them get where they need to be and how to protect each other. They have so much love for one another since they're all they have. Being orphans, they really have to rely on one another for protection, especially Sunny, who's just a little baby. But I love that series and those characters and how well they work together, and they never want to break that bond. The next one is Loki, a villain that you love and can't help but be attracted to. I mean, my favorite villain is Queen Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles. I've talked about her a lot, but she's obviously a terrible person and isn't even really herself in this series, but I just really like her, and she's very dark and creepy, and she's my favorite villain of all time. Ant-Man, a book you've been meaning to read. I love the Ant-Man films so much. They're literally so exciting and so good. Anyway, this one I really need to get to Pride and Prejudice. I've been putting it off for years. I tried reading it, I got to page like 100 and something, and then I just couldn't keep going. I have to get to that book eventually, and I told myself if I read the book, I'm allowed to watch the movie again, which is a terrible thing, but that's my reward. So I'm going to do it one day. Black Widow, a side character you wish had their own book. For sure, going with Manon from the Throne of Glass series. I love Manon, and yes, she gets a lot of book time, you know, in the series, but I think if she had her own book, like just a book about her life and everything, it would be so incredible. Like, her being introduced in Heir of Fire was literally the best part, and I just love Manon so much. Like, her storyline is just so wild, and I love her relationship with the 13, and I just love everything about her, and I hate that they are shipping her with Dorian. I just hate that aspect, and like, give her a girl. Honestly, I just want that, I want that to be a thing like in the past. I don't know, but I just want more from Manon. Okay, the next one is Hulk, a book you can't talk about without getting angry. Definitely going with Paper Princess by Aaron Watt. Definitely going with Paper Princess by Aaron Watt. I hate this book. I could rant about it forever. I gave it 1 star, but it deserved negative stars. I don't know how it has any high ratings. It was very disturbing to me and gross and just not a good book at all. Like, I'm so angry that it's even a thing. I think it even has a series. Terrible. And the last one is Ultron, your favorite snobby child. I don't really know who has a favorite snobby child. I don't like kids. I'm going to be going with Selena from the Throne of Glass series, simply because she was very young, very snobby, and annoying in the first book. I could not stand her. I get like why, and we obviously see her grow throughout the series, but she was so annoying. I almost did not keep reading that series because of her. Another one, oh, I cannot stand Nesta in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I will never like her character. I don't care if things got better in this last book, but I don't like Nesta at all. She's a brat, she's annoying, and I mean, she gets a little bit better as we see in the last book, but overall, she's a terrible character. Alright, that is it for this tag. I wish I could talk longer. My camera is blinking at me, it's about to die. I did really like this tag, and I love the Marvel Universe multiverse. I can't wait to talk more about the Marvel films. I will eventually do that in another video, and just my thoughts and feels on all of them that I've seen, and I don't know, maybe do some fun Marvel quizzes. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ErikaAGobble. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!